that was a long, torturous journey for both of us. I mean, when I went to San Diego for the first time, it was, I mean, it's marginally larger now, but I mean, it was just overwhelming, and in a completely awesome way, overwhelming. And there was all these artists there, and everyone was great, and they seemed to really, and Rex Mundi was really vague at that time. I didn't even have a title for it. But when I saw Eric J's art, I just knew he would be perfect for it. And we really hit it off. And yeah, I wrote the first issue, and then we decided to make it a double issue. We self-published it, and we weren't that happy with the results of it. And it was, I mean, it was like 44 pages of drawing. I mean, it took us like a year to put the goddamn thing together. And I think because of the inking, we were not happy with it. So I think we submitted it to Dark Horse and Image and a few other places, and everyone rejected it, and rightly so. I mean, it didn't look that great. So we spent another year totally redoing the whole thing, finding a colorist, putting a website together. We did an online comic called Brother Matthew, which is going to be starting up again soon, actually. And then we showed it to Image. And that was its own kind of long, torturous story. Once Image, we were originally going to be part of the series called Image Introduces. We were going to be the 6th title in it. And what it was, I guess, the guys at Image, they had some comics that they weren't sure about, so they wanted to kind of throw them out there in this series called Image Introduces, and if there was a positive response, they would, okay, fine, we'll make it into an ongoing series, and if there wasn't, then no harm, no foul. But Image Introduces was canceled before the 6th issue, and so we were kind of like, oh no, oh no. But then Image, God bless them, they decided to publish Rex Mundi as a one-shot. Just on its own, not under the Image Introduces banner. So that was great, but again, it was like so nerve-wracking because if you read Rex Mundi, you know, it's a very involved story. It's definitely, it's not like G.I. Joe or Inspector Gadget where it's just like, you can get through an entire story in 22 pages. So that was just so nerve-wracking, and Eric and I did not know how the response would be. But in fact, I was in, a few weeks after it came out, this is Rex Mundi number 0, which came out through Image, I was going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we got out, and I went to the Forbidden Planet, which is a great comic book store in Manhattan, and Jeff, a guy that works there, I asked him, how's Rex Mundi doing? And he said, I can't get any more copies of it. And I was like, oh no, what happened? Like, have they been like rerouted to Siberia? Have they all been turned into toilet paper? But no, he said, no, I think it's sold out. I think it's sold out. And that was probably the happiest day of my entire life, or right up there anyways. Because then I knew that we'd probably be made into an ongoing series. So that was the story with Image. It was just kind of, again, clawing up the greasy pole. Dark Horse came about because we're working on a movie for Rex Mundi, and Dark Horse, they are partnering in the production of the movie. So they came to me, and their argument was, look, we can coordinate, when the movie comes out, we can coordinate sales of the book with the movie much better than at Image. And that made a lot of sense to me. Also, being at Image for so long, it gave me so much respect for people like Brian Michael Bendis, Robert Kirkman, the original Image founders. I mean, like Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson. I mean, those guys were able to sell, just by dint of their own pluckiness or industriousness, have made really big names for themselves. I was never able to do that at Image. And that's something I blame myself for. Dark Horse is able to give me a little bit more support, and I need it desperately, desperately need it. So those are all reasons that I switched over. I also, as a condition for switching over, I asked Dark Horse to publish another story I had, Zero Killer. And I said, I'm not coming over unless you'll publish this too. And I totally thought they would say no. And then, much to my surprise, they were like, okay. So they did. Here I am. It was different. At Image, I would virtually give them a disc and say, print this. I mean, and that's amazing. Where else can you get freedom like that? I mean, God bless Image. God bless them. That's an incredible amount of freedom. And you get to have, you know, their logo on the front cover. It's totally professional, it's a great thing. For me, though, I started Rex Mundi right after college, so I look at those early issues and I just wince because I can see a lot of mistakes that I made. I can see a lot of typos just because I lettered Rex Mundi too. There are just a lot of typos there, and that's the nature of Image. Dark Horse has a much more hands-on approach to the editing, and I think being at Image for so long made me really appreciate just what an editor can do for you. And that's not to say the people at Image weren't very helpful. I mean, they had a lot of great suggestions for me with Rex Mundi, and really made it a much better comic. But it's definitely kind of another order of magnitude at Dark Horse, and it's very much appreciated. Eric and I were just like in San Diego at Comic-Con, and there are a lot of agents and producers kind of prowling around looking for new stuff at Comic-Con, and Barry Levine, we ran into this guy, Barry Levine. I think this was in like 2001. So we've been working on the movie for a long time, and we've been through a lot. Barry's been really, really good to us. He's been really consistent, really believed in it. There have been a lot of ups and downs. He's really stayed with us, and I'm really grateful for him. Yeah, eventually, I believe there are some other producers involved, and they are the Rich, Peter and Ellen Rich. I believe they are the ones who showed it to Johnny Depp, and I'm just so grateful to them too. Because again, it just would never have occurred to me. It seems obvious to me now, but apparently Johnny Depp really liked it, and that has been just transformative for me. I mean, it's just, I pinch myself sometimes. It's so incredibly wonderful. I haven't seen the script. I know that Jim Yules is a screenwriter for it. He wrote Fight Club, amongst other things. He wrote the adaptation for Fight Club, and I think that when it's a comment I heard about Fight Club a lot, is that, oh, it's a great book, but totally impossible to make into a movie. And then Jim Yules totally did. I mean, it's a great screenplay. I couldn't think of anyone better to be writing it. I'm told that the first draft is done and he's working on the second draft. So that's exciting. You know, there was the writer strike for a while, so that sort of threw a monkey wrench into things. But I guess it's humming along.